Hey, what's going on YouTube? Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. But today, let's talk about to carry one in the chamber or not. Now, this has been somewhat of a sensitive subject, and before I get into it, I literally already have the slide back so that I can show you all. And we'll rack it a couple of times. And of course, the magazine is empty. This has definitely been, a really debated topic. And what I want to bring today to this particular conversation is just some of my thoughts around why you should always carry your firearm with a round in the chamber. So I believe that there are two different scenarios, right? You are either ready or not. So you're either ready for something to happen or you're not. I really want to ask this question. So to anyone out there, what is the biggest advantage that anyone has that wants to do you harm or someone else harm? What's their biggest advantage? I would say that their biggest advantage is the element of surprise, right? So no one's going to say, hey, the guy that's 10 feet away, I'm going to attack you in just a moment. So if you need to get ready, go ahead and do that. No one is going to do that. I want you to understand something. So when something happens, hopefully nothing ever happens to you. But if something ever does happen, just trust and believe that the bad guy will try to get whatever advantage he can on you, right? In those types of scenarios, it's absolutely best to have your tools ready, right? You should absolutely have a round in the chamber. I would never want to be engaged with someone that wants to do me harm or in a situation where I absolutely need to use my tool and it's not ready, right? So like I say, you're either ready or you're not, right? If I need to pull my firearm, right? Rack my firearm, right? So if I were to pull my firearm and rack my firearm and then, oh, now it's ready, right? Well, you weren't ready at that moment. If you, as a concealed carrier, you have this on you. You don't carry this because it's the most comfortable thing that you could put on your person every day. You don't carry it because, it's a nice accessory for the shirt that you may have on that particular day. You carry this so you can make it home to your family and your loved ones, and so your loved ones as well can make it home, right? That's why you carry this. This is a tool. And thinking of it, as such, you should absolutely always have it ready, because if you ever have to pull this out and you're not at a gun range or you're not in some type of training course, something really bad is happening at that moment. At that moment. I've seen way too many videos on YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot. Seen way too many scenarios on YouTube where someone pulled out a tool and it just wasn't ready, and that ended up being their last moments, right? I absolutely do not want that to happen to myself. I don't want it to happen to you all. So those are just my thoughts on why you should always carry with one in the chamber. All right, so now what I want to do is load in a few dummy rounds, and some of you all may have these. You can pretty much pick them up at any type of sporting goods store, Academy. I think Walmart even has these. Maybe I could be mistaken, but like I say, any type of outdoors type store. Most gun ranges actually have these in stock as well. So these are, some people call them snap caps, or that's the general name of them, right? So if you just go into your local firearms store or gun store and ask them about snap caps. They will absolutely be able to direct you in the correct direction. So, and you know, these don't fire. They don't have any type of any type of firing capability. They just allow you to you know, kind of go through some things on your you know, using your firearm, right? So I am going to load my firearm with a snap cap. That's what I just did, and I could do a, you know, I could do a press check, and you all could see. So this is the thing: if you are in a scenario and something's actually happening, and you have a round in the chamber, if someone, say, I'm just going to give you an example, right? So if someone was to rush you out of the blue, right? You're walking in a dark parking lot, walking in your car, someone runs out and grabs you, right? So, you know, they've come from the left or from the right, right? You know, and you're trying to defend them. So if someone's coming at you and you see something, you know, kind of out of your peripheral vision, one of the first things that we all do, you know, we'd stick out our arm or something of that sort, right? Before we really did anything else, right? So at that point, you only have one arm, you know, to recover your tool with, right? So you should plan for worst case scenarios. So you having one arm, you know, to retrieve your tool is, you know, somewhat of a worst case scenario in that type of scenario, in that kind of situation, right? Because you have to move your shirt, or you have to, you know, reach into your purse, you know, or something of that sort to retrieve your tool. You want to have it loaded already. You know, rounds in the magazine, that's good. You really should have a round in the chamber. If you don't, you're not ready. You know, at that point now, okay, now you need two hands, right? So now you need to rack your firearm, right? And then engage. You can't just pull your firearm out and engage, right? So I would definitely say absolutely every day you carry, have one in the chamber. I saw a video with a guy. It really aggravated me. It's very, very hard. If you knew me personally, you would know it's very, very hard for me to get aggravated about really anything. You know, I'm kind of a really laid back person. The thing that aggravated me about the video, he was talking about using an Israeli, the Israeli method of, you know, loading a round in the chamber if you were to need your firearm. And my whole thing is, I'm like, okay, well, you're talking about a military application where people oftentimes are moving in groups, right? Most of the time, you're not just totally by yourself if you're, you know, in the military and you're, you know, on a particular mission or something of that sort. And someone out there, you guys can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but their handgun or their pistol is not their primary tool, right? So they're walking around with Tavor type rifles, or, you know, a mini Tavor type rifles as their primary tool. So and you know, like I said, you guys can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but for a person to be out there saying, hey, you can use this particular method for loading a round in the chamber, and, you know, there are times when you shouldn't have a round in the chamber, it was really just ridiculous to me. It really was. I think one of the examples that he gave was if you're just, you know, if you're carrying your firearm without any type of case or holster or anything like that. And I'm just thinking in my head, so first of all, you should never carry your firearm without some type of protective case, at least something to block the trigger from any type of, you know, object getting in there and causing your firearm to discharge, right? So that's my, you know, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. I definitely want to see the comments on this video. I definitely want to know, you know, if you all carry with one in the chamber or not. And if not, why? Some people have said, you know, when I was doing training, some people have said that, hey, they weren't carrying around in the chamber because they weren't comfortable enough with the firearm at that particular time. And my response to that is, if you're not comfortable enough with a firearm to carry one in the chamber, you need more training. All right, train until you are absolutely comfortable with carrying around in the chamber, and you feel like you know enough to carry around in the chamber, etc. Right? So everyone, like I say always, you know, be safe. God bless.